Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man giving you the truth. On this video, I want to talk about, should you lease, should you own, or should you rent cars? Should you do Uber, Lyft? What should you do in terms of keeping your wealth and building wealth and making the right decisions in terms of transportation? We can start right here. If you got bad credit, do not buy these cars, because I've had repossessions, and most of my repossessions were cars that I just refused to pay for because they broke down on me. And I'm looking like, I got 3 more years to pay on this, and I gotta, no, because you gotta realize the owners use that excuse. It reminds me of how, like, some of these restaurants still closing their lobby. Like, they still worry about that thing. They ain't worried about that thing. They closing their lobby for their own reasons. That's how car lots do too. They will sell you a car, and they'll use that credit thing as an excuse. Get out of my blind spot, man. People need to learn how to drive. Never drive in somebody's blind spot. I always check them. If I didn't, we'll be back there in an accident. That's like amateur driving in somebody's blind spot. Speaking, and it goes hand in hand, because we talking about transportation. You got to watch out for these people and make it your best effort not to let these people tear up your car with this bad driving too. Especially, this is why I say you better off either taking Uber and Lyft while you save your money to buy you a good car, or I don't know, if you got good credit, you know, and you got a higher income. Let's say you make $5,000 a month and you got good credit. Now you can, you could lease a car. I wouldn't advise it though. Like, me personally, I would say that you should either pay somebody to take you where you need to go, whether it's Uber, Lyft, whether it's somebody you know, while you save up for a good car. And if you decide to pay, like, get you a $5,000 car, because where we live, Milwaukee, you can get a car that's gonna last for you. Might need a few things for $5,000. Like, there's cheap cars that will run. Like, you get the right Pontiac, the right Buick. Like, if you get the 3800 V6 engine, that's one of the best engines ever made. So if you want to get a used car and you don't have as much, look for that engine, 3600 or 3800 V6. It'll run, I'm telling you. If you can find a car with that engine in it and a decent transmission, you're going to get far, I'm telling you. I don't care if it got 180,000 miles on it. I done had cars with that engine that had 200,000 miles on it. One of the best running cars I ever had. It was a Pontiac Bonneville. It was 1994. And it's like, when you got that engine, every repair you do, it's going to make the car even more sound. So I had that car like a new car, and I ended up getting hit by somebody. It got totaled. But you better off either just dealing with the Rideshare or paying cash for you a car. Because if you pay cash, you could keep moving up. Like, you say, okay, this year, you have it wrote on paper, I'm going to pay $5,000 for a car. Remember, look for a car with that engine in it, 3800 V6. When you find a car with that engine, the next thing you want to know, ask them, is there any electrical problems? If there's no electrical problems, is there any problem with the transmission? No problem with the transmission. Get that car. Get that car. Especially if it look good on the outside, but even if it don't, so what? You gonna be running while them people who get the more pretty looking cars on the outside, they're gonna be on the side of the road. Get you some AAA, get that car. So then let's say you say, okay, I need a car. I need a car like within 3 months. If you making $3,000 a month, you should be able to save $800 like a month for a car. Now you got $2,400. The car, if you in an emergency situation, you got $2,400. You can do some rideshare to get where you need to go. You got $2,400. That rideshare ain't gonna even go through half of that. Or you can get a car with that engine in it. Now let's say you got more time to wait. Let's say you got a good family or good friends. Be like, hey man, I'm gonna kick you some gas. Think you gonna have time to take me to work or take me here, take me there? You just kick them some gas. Kick them some gas. Throw in a little extra sometime. It'll make people want to help you. So then you say you can save up $5,000. Get you a $5,000 car. Get you a $5,000 car. Drive it. Be putting up a little money for oil change, anything it might need, brake pads, stuff like that. But also be saving a little bit to move up. You move up to $10,000. Saving, y'all hear me talking. It's the number one key. It's not investing. These people is crooks. They up and down with the investments. Look at Bitcoin. Investment, you get a little bit and you focus on saving money because they playing with those investments. So wait until they play enough and now you got enough and be like, bam, sell half of that stuff. Now you got even more money. But I wouldn't bank on investments. Bank on building your income up, getting higher income, save. You got to go back to the basics, which work. Because if you save $28 a day, that's $10,000 a year. If your average savings are $28 a day, which is what? In a week's time, 28 times 7 is $196. So if you get paid every week and you just keep $196, in 1 year you'll have 10 grand. 1 year you'll have 10 grand. So let's say it's half of that. You save what's half of 96 or 196. Half of 196 is what? 98. So to get that 5, that's $98 a week. So if you make $500 a week, you basically taking $98 of it and putting it up, or 100, round up 100. It don't hurt to go over 100 a week. You living off 4, paying your bills, living off the 4. In a year's time, you'll have 5 grand. You'll be able to get you a $5,000 car. Again, you do 196. Now you got 10. Now let's say now you got a $10,000 car and you still got your $5,000 car. Now you got 2 cars, which I would tell everybody you should have at least 2 cars that run, that you can, get around and deal with. Especially if you have a family, you should have 2 cars. If you got one, you need another. So I'm going to close this out in a few minutes. So now you have 2 cars. Now you have options, man. You have what's called options. You can either sell the $5,000 car, or you could just keep both of them and just keep playing this game. Keep playing this game. Now you say, okay, now I want to build my income up, get my side hustles, and I want to put up $20,000. So 20,000 is an average of $56 a day, which in a week is what? It's $392. So if you're making $700-800 a week and your expenses is low, because you know that's what I should have done. That's what I try to do now. You can save that that money. So now you got 20 grand. You already got your 2 cars. You already got your 2 cars. So you can hold on to that 20. Because if you do what I'm telling you to do, what I told you to do in the last video, now you got a house. Now you got a paid off car. Those are options. Options. See, the way how crazy these people is at these jobs, you want to have your stuff together. Cars, you got your place, you're working on other places. You always work to move up. That's what we should be doing. I wish my father would have taught me that. You conquer one obstacle, build another one, conquer that, keep conquering. If you do that, if you have that mentality, you're going to have money. You're going to have what you need. You're going to have cars. Now you up to 20. Next thing you know, you up to 30. Next thing you know, you got 100 grand. You got 100,000. You say, you know what? I think I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go get me a brand new car. Me personally, I don't care about that depreciation stuff. I don't care about it because when I buy a car, it's normally not going to be to sell it. If I buy a car, and that's another thing you can do. You got all that money, you could be flipping cars. You could be driving them, making sure they good. You got your own cars that you keep. You sell this car. Like you buy a car for $3,000, sell it for $3,500. Don't get greedy. Sell it, price it to sell quick with profit. You want to get at least a 250 or more profit off a car you sell if you flipping cars. Because guess what? If you got the right cars and you get around tax time, you got 4 cars, you done got yourself together. Now you got 4 cars that you want to sell, and it's tax time. And the cars you paid like $3,000 for them. At tax time, you can flip for double, like you sell them $5-6 grand. Or you can not be greedy, you just price them to sell, keep going back and forth, sell as many as you can. Pay $3,000, sell it $4,500, make people think they got a deal. They're gonna tell other people. You know, we gotta learn that you don't gotta eat doo-doo and turn against God to have money. If y'all know what I'm talking about. You just got to make the right decisions and be ambitious. A lot of people, you relying on the lottery to make you rich. Play the lottery. Nothing wrong with it. You should. At least a couple dollars, you should give yourself that possibility. But don't rely on the lottery to make it. If you make it through it, good. But don't rely on it. Because you might spend like me. I play the lottery. I don't care what you say. You can't find no scripture that say I can't. If you want to play that game, I can find scripture that say I can. But I ain't gonna even do that. But you might win like if you a good player, you gonna win more than you lose. But if you not like the more skilled player, you gonna lose more than you win. And then you're gonna be looking at it like, I could have saved that money. So don't rely on it. Just do it. Like Powerball is up right now. Mega Millions is up. What you gonna miss like $8-10? You ain't gonna miss it. You ain't gonna miss that. If you going that extreme, you probably ain't gonna make it. You probably ain't gonna make it. So that's something that I think you should do that will work. Because the times I had the most money in life, it was always when I had a good car that I paid cash for. It seemed like as soon as you start getting these car notes, like everything gotta be perfect. Like, because if you get a car note and your car note is high, let's say you got bad credit, that car need anything, it's gonna mess up your finances every time. Because you're gonna have to pay that car note. Then you're gonna have to, if you need tires, that's gonna be extra money. Or you need a battery, it's gonna be extra money. Like this car I'm in right now, this is 2018. I done had to put tires on it. I done had to put a battery in it. Then you still gotta pay for the insurance. Dude, no. Try not to do it, man. Try not to do it. Like, that's false hype. You know as well as I do that most of these people with jobs, they got car notes, they faking the funk. Like, they really ain't doing that good. So you start hearing about them borrowing money. Like, man, you make all that money, you borrowing money. You make $60,000 a year, and you borrowing money from people. Anyway, we can conclude this one as well. Rideshare, pay cash. You know, you get a lot richer and you, let's say you start dealing with the upper class, upper middle class. I mean, then now, you know, you either want to pay cash for your vehicle, get you a nice Mercedes or BMW or a nice truck or something, or you might want to lease. Then, I mean, you making 10 grand a month. What's a little $3.99 lease? It's not gonna hurt you at all. In fact, if you married, you can lease one for you and your wife, and it still ain't gonna hurt your pocket. But that's the goal, to get your money up to like where you making $10,000 a month after taxes, though, because it's not gonna be the same before taxes as it would be after tax. You clearing $2,500 a week after taxes. Chill. But anyway, next we're going to talk about college. We're going to talk about college next. Thanks for watching. This is The Truth, man. The channel is no Matrix. No buying things to keep up with the Joneses. That's Matrix, babe. Get you a car that run and stack your money. If they say some slick stuff to you, sometimes you might have to floss down on somebody. Like, man, yeah, like I remember I had a coworker some years back. He used to argue with one of his friends. And his friend used to tell him, man, why are you driving that raggedy SS car? He said, my car might look raggedy, but you can't even buy a sandwich. And the guy that told him he can't buy a sandwich, I kid you not, every time he pulled out his wallet was full of cash. Every time. And he ended up retiring from where we used to work together. I don't know if he's still alive or not. I haven't seen him or heard from him in a while, but that guy, he had it down. And people would laugh at him. He said, man, I'm finna go get a car. He got a loan for $3,000. And keep in mind, his house was already paid off. Because what he did was, for years, he lived with his dad. Then he finally got a house, but it was already paid off. Like, he ain't had no expenses. So he told me, I'm finna get a car. I said, oh, okay. He came with one of those older looking like Marquis. It was clean and quiet. He said, man, I just got to pay this $3,000 back. He paid that $3,000 back so quick. Got to get better, man. People, you ain't on one day. The day is going to come where you going to slow down. You ain't going to want to work like that no more. You should be planning for that day, and I should be planning for that day. Not trying to keep up with the Joneses. These dudes, brand new Challengers, paying $800-900 a month, and they only make $3,500 a month. But anyway, this is the All Subjects channel. Next, we're going to talk about college. Like, what would make college worthwhile? Thanks for watching.